So, I'm back at Cat Lake. You can see here, it's all fogged in, all soggy. I won't introduce the campground or the lake because I was just here not that long ago. But Otto and Karen are with me. They're up top. I'm gonna grab some lunch maybe and go for a dive because it's around lunch now. And last time I talked about not trying to preserve or trying to keep the daylight so I can see what I'm doing in the water. But I've got no sunlight right now, so it doesn't really matter. I'm still looking for that lost cell phone, which is right there. I think this is my 6th dive looking for it, 3rd year. And for those people who have followed the channel for quite some time, that's the phone that's got the deceased grandfather's photos on it. So we're really hoping to get that phone back, and the photos weren't backed up. So, and then glasses right there that I couldn't find last time. Well, I found a pair. Nope, they weren't it. So I got to keep looking. And then at the other dock, got a GoPro that I can go find. And I've got a line that I'm going to drop down the dock to mark where I'm looking, so I know kind of more or less where they're supposed to be, versus just swimming around randomly. Oh shit! Daisy, come on. So Daisy has she's cut her paw again. And last night she was just going at it, I guess, and tore it up pretty good. So I bandaged it up, and what does she do? She goes straight into the water, which totally sucks. Because I dried it off, put disinfectant on it, bandaged it all up so that she can run around at camp here. But obviously, she can't help herself, so she stepped in the water, and now I got to remove that boot so it doesn't stay soaked, because that'll get infected for sure. I'll put it in the camper while I'm diving. And then I'll have to probably dress that wound again. Well, of course, Daisy had to go step in the water. It's okay, Daisy. Let's have a look at your foot, see how it looks. Here we go. I've got this little booty on here. I'm just gonna, the gauze is underneath. Man, I gotta take that off and see what it looks like. Because she stepped in the water when I was down at the lake. It's okay. Stay there. Okay, apparently I'm really crappy at gauzing up. Okay, at least her foot's dry. Alright, okay, I gotta rebandage this whole thing. I didn't want to cut off the circulation or reduce the circulation. So what I did is is that wet? Oh yeah, no, that's soaking wet. So, yeah. Alright, well that's crap anyways. I'm going to turn this booty inside out and just let it dry while I'm on the dive. What the? Oh, there it is right there. That spot right there. That's all sore for her, and she was looking at it. So, okay, well that bandage was soaking wet just as I thought, because she has stepped into the water. So I'm going to go for my dive. She'll stay in here. See, she's looking at it right now. Daisy, leave it. Yeah, she's gonna like that. Anyway, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna go and do my dive, and I'll have to dress that. I don't have like a huge first aid kit with me. It's more like band-aids and stuff. So I'll have to see what I can do to get that dressed, just so that she's a little more comfortable. Otherwise, she's like all the grit and everything on the ground. It'll just be really sore for her. So, oh, such a silly girl. Okay, see you guys in the water. So we just finished the dive, and Daisy is, so normally when I finish the dive, when I come up to the camper, Daisy and Maggie will both just like be really excited to get out of the camper. Just kind of, as soon as I open the door, they just bolt out. But this time, Maggie jumped out, but Daisy just stayed put. She's down here. It's almost like she knows she's hurt. Like all my really good first aid kit is actually at home. I've got just enough to kind of patch myself up if I got hurt, but I gotta see if Otto and Karen's got more first aid stuff, gauze and that, what would you call that? Like the self-adhesive bandage. You can wrap it up. Alright, so it's this foot here. Yeah, she's been looking at it too. Nope. Shoot. It's okay, Daisy. Come on, give me your foot. Good girl. Oh man. No, this is not gonna work. Shoot. I think she's gonna have to, oh, just limp. I mean, it's all raw. Here, look at that. You can see that much better now, right? That little spot there, it's all raw. Sorry, Daisy, you're gonna have to, oh, and I wish she wouldn't go in the water, but I had it bandaged up perfectly at home. She's just hanging out there, and Otto's got the fire going. Well, I think I'll just head outside. If she wants to come out, she will, I guess. I just don't have the good stuff to bandage her up with here. I think what I'll do is I'll just put the bootie over her, and at least that'll give some protection for rubbing up against the actual raw wound. And then I'll just have to take that off tonight when she comes to bed, obviously. There we go. That's just it'll keep. It's not perfect, obviously. Yeah, I think she knows that she's more comfortable that way, because as soon as she would put that booty on, she just came out on her own. There she is. No, it just wouldn't stay on, the bandage. It's not a good...
It's not a good fit.
Well, I needed different gauze, which I have at home.
Oh.
Last time I was here, I found a pair of glasses. I thought those were it. And I sent the guy a photo, and he said, nope, those aren't it. So... this time I dropped the line down, said, okay, this is exactly where it needs to be. No, those aren't it either, darn it. So those, ah, damn it. So these are sort of bottom frameless ones. And the picture that I have here, there's a frame at the bottom. Damn. Okay, so if you drop these glasses at the northwest corner of the lake at a dock, hit me up. These are your glasses. They're very distinctive. That's what they look like there, off to the side. If you drop these glasses, let me know. What was our weight today, Karen?
41 pounds.
41 pounds of garbage. I had a shorter dive today because I was looking for that cell phone, as I talked about earlier, and ended up much deeper, just trying to find that phone. So of course the problem is that when I go down deeper, I have less air. And so I can stay there. I can't stay there as long. So my dive today overall, I think, was just 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes. And so of course, because of that, I can't get out as much garbage. But the field that I landed in, hopefully it shows up on film. It was just absolutely littered with cans. I picked up everything I could. So
Yellowtail,
yeah,
well aged. It's a Shiraz. So
no, you should have a sniff. You should have a sniff and see what it sniffs like.
Sniff's pretty good.
You should have a sip.
No.
Ribbon.
These guys are getting absolutely spoiled tonight. I mean, what dog gets organic flank steak for dinner, huh? I think Daisy's going to be feeling a lot better with her paw after getting some flank steak. What do you think, guys? Maggie gets a little bit as well. Maggie, even though she's, what is she? I think she's like 10 pounds lighter than Daisy, but she eats more than Daisy does because she runs so much more. She easily does like 25-30% more distance than Daisy does. She does the typical dog thing where she zigzags back and forth way more than Daisy does. Daisy, leave it. Leave it. Oh, that's yours. Leave it. Leave it. Okay. Good girls. Oh, nom 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 nom. And just like that, it's gone. Good morning, everybody. This is the stuff from yesterday. Well, it's starting to clear up, which is great because weather was not good yesterday, but starting to clear up. Yesterday, you couldn't actually see the other side of the lake due to the fog, but we can actually see the lake today. So this is my primary cave reel. It's got 400 feet of line on it, and I don't cave anymore, but I've kept this reel for a good purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just undo the thumb screw here, and this actually pulls out, drops into the water, and I can use this line to mark where the corner of that dock is. So that way I know exactly where I'm looking. And then to bring the line back in, it's got a little knob here on the side. And you simply just retrieve the line. Pretty simple. And then lock it off. Alright, so apparently the GoPro is 10 feet this way. So what I need to do is, because when I'm swimming underneath this dock, I actually can't tell where I am along the dock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this so I know where the corner is. So I'm going to add the carabiners for a little bit of weight. Because otherwise the line's too floaty. Okay, and there we go. That's the line dropped down. And then to secure my reel so it doesn't fall into the water, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, lock it off, so the line stays the same length. Take my reel, just like I would do in the caves actually, give it a couple of wraps. Take my clip and do 3 wraps on it. And now that's secure. And now this is sitting in the water. Now I know where the corner of the dock is. So a couple of years ago, I actually bought a Insta360 camera. I just used one, and I don't think at the time the intention was to gonna go film some snowboarding and stuff. But when I first got it, I didn't realize they make an underwater housing. So I'm gonna see if I can use this to showcase the underwater terrain a little bit better. So I'm gonna get this Insta360 in the water today. I'll look like a total dork because I'll have a unicorn on top of my head, and I'll see what kind of image I can capture for you guys. Okay, see you guys in the water as soon as I finish it. Figure out how to get this thing inside the camera housing. All right, dive's done. So I've discovered a problem with this. So this is the underwater housing for the Insta360, and this is the, I believe, the housing that that is sold by those guys. So it's not an aftermarket housing. So there's the on and off button, and that's the select button. And that, right underneath that seam there, is the tiny little screen that I can see what I'm doing. And the problem is, I think you can see it from there, that screen is underneath that seam. And as a diver, I have no way of taking my gloves off, my dry gloves, off to see what it is I'm looking at. See that screen right there? So I think the battery actually died during my dive. So yeah, just as I suspected. I got this thing plugged into my power bank here to power it up. I think you can see that. So I think you can see that there. So I pressed the button and it went to interval shooting, which is the first thing on there. So I got 14,000 photos of my dive. I'm not putting 14,000 photos onto part of the video, and I'm not going to bother stitching it together. That just seems like a lot of effort. So that's a bit of a downside to this, is that I can't see what the hell I'm doing with it. That's no good. 12:30 right now. Hot chocolate time. Oh yes, hot chocolate. That'll warm me up nicely. Yeah, so the sun doesn't set until 6, but it'll duck behind the tree line. And what did I say? It's 12:30 right now. So it's 12:30, and we're gonna lose daylight, or lose the sunlight, in about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna get into something a little bit warmer than my dive underwear. Put a couple of layers on. Drink my hot chocolate. Bring my roast beef sandwich down to the dock and enjoy the view. Man, this is a lovely way to enjoy the afternoon. So we lost an onion bag and it's in the water, and I'm slowly moving it closer and closer by just paddling, creating the water movement. Oh yes, there it is. Don't lose it.
And Maggie's helping.
Leave nothing behind.
Nice leggings. So that's almost.
Giant floppy hat. That was my find.
Yeah, 74. Okay.
Some more sunglasses.
We've got lighters.
Lighters too.
Lighters too. Balls.
That's the beer cans for today. That's the beer cans from yesterday.
Yeah.
All right, so every now and then we get a lake beer, and I did the math on this. Beer has 15 psi. Beer has 15 psi in this, so as long as this is above 50 feet, there's greater pressure inside the bottle than there is on the outside of the bottle. So in theory, this isn't contaminated. Oh yeah, there it is. Smells like beer. These guys are looking at me with disgust, but they're going to be looking at me with envy when I'm drinking free beer. It's a perfect Corona.
Perfectly chilled.
Wow. What a lovely evening sitting around the fire. Made organic chicken breast with potatoes. Pretty much the same meal as last night, because last night I had the steak and tonight it was chicken. I just grilled over the fire in the pan, and of course these guys, spoil rotten, got they each got half a chicken breast as a treat, as a meal, dinner. Alright guys, see you in the morning. Good morning everybody. It is a chilly morning, brisk. It was on my little thermometer sitting on the side of my camper, it says -4, and I would imagine it's a little bit colder last night, in the middle of the night. The lake has a good sheen of ice on it. It's very, very thin, like a millimeter, and it's already melting as the sun hits it. Let me go down and show you guys. I think you guys can see that, right? I know I'm filming right into the sunlight, but you can see the sheen of ice. I can't even see the screen on the camera, so I'm assuming you guys can see that. So the problem with ice on the lakes is that it is too dangerous for the divers. Right now it's super thin. It's like a millimeter of ice, and we can break that if we surface underneath it. Actually probably less than a millimeter. The problem with lakes freezing, a solid ice, even half an inch, we can't break that. So when we're underwater, we actually have no idea where we are as far as the opening, if there's an opening to the ice. So ice diving, and exactly like cave diving, you have to maintain a continuous line to the surface, to the air. To ambient air, and of course the problem is that as we can't really do that because we have to swim underneath logs and all sorts of debris, so we can't really maintain a line. So when the lakes freeze over, we stop diving. So the reason for the last few videos, I've been cranking out videos actually, is just going garbage removal diving, is for two reasons. Number one is I was waiting for the lakes to freeze up. Later this week, this lake right here is supposed to hit -13, -14 for quite a while. So this lake's going to freeze over completely, and we won't be able to dive until it thaws. And by the time it thaws, the partiers will start to arrive, and we don't really want to be here when it's a gong show here at the camp. So basically, that's the big reason. And then the other one is that there's actually a lot of snow in the backcountry. So another reason why I haven't done any other videos is because the places that I would go on exploring, they're completely buried in snow, and my vehicle just don't have the ability to plow through, like 3 feet of snow to get to a campsite to explore it. And a lot of times I'm driving on my own, as you see in some of my videos, is that if I get stuck, I'm out there completely by myself. So try to make smart choices. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks when all the lakes start to freeze over. And yeah, but maybe some of the other ones will start to thaw. We'll see. Well, folks, that wraps up another great trip. Almost 100 pounds of garbage removed from Cat Lake. And yeah, we've got a few things coming up. Hopefully the water stays clear for us to go dive or what have you. Temperature's supposed to drop all over the entire lower mainland down to like -14 and 13, 14. So we'll see what the weather brings us. So these glasses right here. Get that right there. So if you recognize who owns these glasses, because they're pretty unique actually. I think you can get that, right? You can get these. Whoever gets whoever recognizes these, if share it on social media. They're prescriptions, so obviously they cost a little bit of money. So I'll be happy to get them back to whoever has those. All right, see you in the next video, guys. Thanks very much for my Patreon supporters. I'm gonna pack up the camp. Otto and Karen are way ahead of me because they have less to do. I gotta reload all my dive gear inside the camper, and so I gotta get going. All right, guys. See you in the next video.